Now, one thing I wanted to, important, because of your experience, and we've had some questions about being recruited to Purdue, a very different time, a very challenging time for African American student athletes to come from Newport News, Virginia. We talked to Roger Blaylock for a story that we'll be doing on our website on Monday on Martin Luther King Day and the importance of that. But it's hard for many of us to walk in your shoes about what you came through to come to West Lafayette and that experience where one of the benefits for Purdue in the Big Ten, we talked about that, it was the fact that options for you in southern schools were non-existent.
No.
And the option to come to Purdue was special, but doesn't mean it was easy.
No, it wasn't easy, and I just take my hat off to Marv Levy, who was the coach at William & Mary at that particular time. Marv didn't want to take the first step or be the first one in a school in the South to recruit an African-American player. To his knowledge, he contacted Bernie Miller, who was on the road recruiting for Purdue, and said, look, I have a kid down here who can flat out play the game, but I can't touch him.
Yeah.
And so when you play in I guess everybody think you play in a predominantly all black league, and your leg is separated from the other individuals that you want to play against, but try as we might, the rules were in place and they were not going to be changed at that particular moment of time. And so we knew that three things had to happen. Academically, you had to get yourself prepared properly. Two, you had to be ready for the social change wherever you were going to go. And three, when you got there, you had to make sure that you didn't get caught up in all the other stuff that was unnecessary in order for you to achieve. And when I made my first visit out to Purdue University, I met Coach Miller. He came to a high school basketball game, and we thought he was lost. It was quite natural. We had never seen anyone white sitting in our stands at a basketball game, and that kind of threw us off for a second, like, this guy must be lost. But it was one of those things where we knew that, I wouldn't say we were the Jackie Robinsons or anything of that nature, but we knew that in order for us to go out, we weren't going to play in the SEC, we weren't going to play in the ACC, because that was not part of the script.
Yeah.
So we knew that, we had a couple of guys from my hometown who had gone out and been successful. Earl Facer played down at Indiana. He had a great career at Indiana. And Benny McCray went up to Michigan and had a great career. So we knew it was possible. And I had a high school teammate by the name of Daniel Grimes who also went to Michigan. And he kind of came back and gave me a little feel for what to expect. But he said, go up there, take care of business, keep your mind on the task at hand. Sort of a la Martin Luther King, eye on the prize. You can achieve anything you want. You had good upbringing. You had great teachers in your life. You had great role models. You had great mentors. Don't let them down. And don't let your Heavenly Father down. He has anointed you with too much God-given talent to waste it. And you can't get caught up in things that you can't change, but you can be a part of the change. And that's what I think we bought into when we came here to Purdue University. It was a lot of things we saw that weren't what we thought were fair or equal, for that matter, but we decided we'll do it the right way. In the demonstration we had in 1968, I guess everybody thought we were going to burn down the campus, but it was not an attempt to burn down anything. It was an attempt to say, hey, there are certain things that we see that aren't right. How can we, working together, make it right and make it better for everybody who is on campus here at Purdue University, on the main campus anyhow. So it was one of those things, and when I look back at Dr. King's legacy, it just sends it's spine tingling. It sends like a chill down your spine. It's sort of, I would say, it's the second most important thing to going out to Pasadena and represent Purdue in the Rose Bowl. When you stepped on that turf, it was like, ooh. And then to see what he stood for, what he believed, knowing that you were a part of it because you were living in the South and you saw all of the discrimination, you saw the restrooms, you saw the injustices, and you said, wow, why? Why are we like that in this time period when our forefathers and those who sat down and put together our Constitution kind of excluded us as people? And yet he came out and said, we can do this peacefully, we can do it nonviolently, and we will overcome.
Yeah. And I think that's the message that has to resonate with kids today. Yeah. And it's important, and Roger Blaylock talked today, and we're about to wrap, but that, this is the message that these kids that need to, that there were those that came from before. West Lafayette was more enlightened, but not easy. No. But you had to persevere in an environment here. But that's the legacy, and that's the message that you want to have for kids.
That's it. And we just want everybody to understand, at least I do anyhow, that the toughest thing for a lot of people to do is to go along with the word CHANGE, change. But eventually, if we're going to work together, live together, socialize together, whatever we do together, we have to be ready to accept the change in the people that we come across. Everybody's not going to be the same. I don't care where you walk, where you talk. People have to learn, can I make a change to make it a better place for all of us to live in?
Well said, and I don't think we've ever had a show end with a better message in an important day on Monday, a day of national service, but also a day of memory of the life of Martin Luther King. All right, Leroy, thanks so much, and congratulations on a wonderful career. We'll have you back now every week since you can come out. Thank you to our sponsors, certainly State Farm agent Trent Johnson, Miracles Fitness, and Hilton Garden Inn. Thank you to Kim and to Gordon and to Aaron and everybody in the back room very much for a show. We tried some things technically we're going to have next week. We'll get Jay Billis on because we'll be talking about Mackey Arena and, of course, game day coming to Mackey Arena on Saturday, January 22nd. Going to be a lot of fun, and we'll look forward to doing that. So we'll see you next week, same time, 2 o'clock, which means about 2:05, the way we keep time around here. But we'll look forward to having you back next week, and we'll see you next week on Gold and Black Live.